You are listening to Droptent Media Network.
Ay.
Oh, gosh.
Ay, caramba.
We're getting worse.
Every time.
Every time. We got a guest, though. Hell yeah.
Sidney Gant from Two Jack Bros, baby.
How you doing?
Happy to be here. I'm feeling good.
Hanging out.
Yeah.
Look relaxed.
Yeah, you do.
Good.
I stay relaxed, man.
Always.
Hell yeah.
Always got loose hips.
Really?
Yeah.
Keep them active.
I don't leave my house unless my hips are loose, man.
You gotta. Do you have one of those rights?
Nah, but I'm always feeling so right.
Oh,
No pun intended, and that was not a paid plug.
he's coming in hot, baby.
Jesus.
Do you have one? You know what I'm talking about though? The
I
thing
do.
you lay on the floor.
Yeah.
What
hurts.
is it?
It's like for your psoas muscle. Well, you can do like your back or shoulder, but it fucking kills. You just like lay
Yeah.
on your stomach on it, and it's good. I'll show you.
Okay,
It's pretty
cute.
sick.
Yeah, it's no big deal. It's just a very underrated muscle when it comes to lower back comfort.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever
I mean,
hurts,
that's
it's always the
why-
opposite side.
Yeah.
Your back's fucked up, your stomach's probably weak, you got tight quads,
Yeah.
This is a exercise podcast now.
I know. I'm really glad to not talk for an hour. Cool. Speak amongst yourselves, boys.
Like, I just want to be clear. Two Jack Bros is not a workout podcast.
Yeah, no.
I feel like I'm misrepresenting it already.
You and your wife Ainsley, right? Ainsley?
Yeah, Ainsley. You can get,
Ainsley,
yeah.
Ainsley. Yeah.
She answers to whatever. She knows her name is weird.
She knows what's up. Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not, right? You guys don't actually talk about workout. It's just you guys, right?
No, I mean, but we won't. I mean, we don't.
No.
We won't shy away from it if it comes up naturally. But we're just like a fucking absurd comedy podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you. Hell yeah. I like that. How long you guys been married for?
0 years. We're not married.
Oh, you're not married?
Nah.
Hell
We're
yeah.
just, we're just like
Just keeping it open.
Yeah, like African
Options
American
open.
married.
I dig it.
This is
How long have you guys been together?
21 years.
Whew.
Fuck. Hell yeah.
You guys
Awesome.
started dating when you were like 2? What?
How old are you?
is that?
Yeah, how old are
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 40. I'll be
You're
41
40?
this year. Yeah.
Damn, you look great.
Man.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I do. I'm awesome.
That's a nice-
Love a
Yeah.
comment. Yeah, fuck yeah. That's
How
wild.
old's your oldest?
8.
Okay.
How many
So
kids you have?
We have 3. We have the 8-year-old and then 5-year-old twins.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. But we were together for 13 years before we had kids.
What'd you meet in college?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to college at?
Lafayette College in Easton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Easton.
It's,
I was
it's
just,
a small private school.
dude, I'd never been to Easton. We drove there. I was going to my girlfriend's friend house. I'd never been to Easton. It's like fucking
Yeah.
nice.
It sounds like you just lied, by the way.
We were going to
Yeah, no, my girlfriend's friend. You wouldn't know it.
no, we were going to I don't think you ever met it. We were going to her house up in fucking I get like right outside of Scranton, but we had to drive through Easton. It took us like the back way. It was
Yeah.
fucking nice. I was like, this is like sick. I liked it.
Yeah,
Wait, isn't that where the fucking
That's
that's
where
where the
your
people
shows-
fucking
What?
killed each other? The 3 Pennsylvania people. Did you
Oh
guys
yeah,
watch
it
that
was
video?
up. Did you see that?
yeah.
Oh,
To the neighbors, the
snow
ring?
dispute?
Yeah.
It was up right by that chick's house.
Yeah,
up there.
Okay.
Supposedly, and that's the thing. So my cousin Sean's girlfriend is like a news anchor, and she just moved to Scranton. So
The story of the century.
I mean, literally, she was like, she's like, and that neighborhood's really nice. Like that's like a
Really?
really nice neighborhood. That's like, cause like there's a lot of part of Scranton and stuff where it's like pretty
Rough.
like rough
Yeah.
and stuff. And she was like, it's fucking bizarre that it happened where it happened. Like it would basically be like, it happened in the main line basically of
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
that video was. I mean,
Have you seen the 2-minute, like the 3-minute
the long one when
Jesus.
he hits. Yeah, dude.
When he hits what?
When he shoots her and then he comes back. Did you watch the whole
Should
thing?
have kept your mouth shut.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I only saw that video.
Okay, so there's a
yeah,
45-second
There's a
one,
long
which is,
one.
but then there's a longer one where you actually hear him go back into his house and you hear the gunshot that he killed himself. So he went back
yeah.
inside and killed himself.
Oh, I didn't see that. I
So
think
if
I
you
shut it off
listen,
before that.
because you think it's over, and then we
Holy
kept listening,
fuck.
and then you just hear another gunshot. I mean, also here's the other thing: is I'd love to talk about the. Does she have a gun? People keep telling me
I
she
thought
has a gun.
I thought she shot a gun in the air. No,
so she does have a gun.
She seems to
thought so.
pull something.
Is that her shooting
I didn't
a
know.
gun?
I thought she shot a gun in the air.
right.
I don't know though.
I
I
think
didn't.
she's just pointing at him.
I think so
She was like,
too.
"You're a pussy.
Yeah.
You're a pussy,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "Say it again." And then I was like,
You got to
not-
keep in mind if this is really the nice neighborhood that you're describing, like these people aren't seasoned. You're a pussy pointers.
Yeah, they're
No.
not
I mean,
like
So she's coming up like
argument.
way
Yeah.
high, like come on, like dude, it's like bring that shoulder length, like get it direct. You know what I mean? Like at the person.
Looks like she's putting something on the shelf.
It does. It's like
it
she doesn't know
needs
how to. 'Cause
direct.
she's trying, like in her mind, she's condescending to him, so she's
Oh,
talking
yeah.
down to him.
Fuck yeah.
And since she can't be taller, she's like reaching over and pointing down.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
No, I know
It's
exactly.
like-
Yeah.
yeah.
This is AP News.
Oh, baby.
And supposedly, though,
But-
well, because I read the article, so I watched the 45-second video, and we
That
were like
shit was-
horrified. First of all,
Dude, I was so
we-
high when I watched it. I was like, this just ruined.
Dude,
you know what I mean? I was like,
we
God
watched
damn
it on Saturday, me and my sisters all at the funeral home, and there's a funeral going on, and we're all watching it, and we all screamed at the same time, and we're like, oh, this is not a good thing. And like
Yeah,
someone
that was
came
like
down, and they were like, you guys okay? We're like, we're really sorry.
Yeah.
We just saw, and they were like, we just saw that video too. It's fucked up.
I mean,
But if
What's-
you but if you read the article, like
don't read.
it was kind of weirdly the other neighbors were blaming the couple, and I was like, what the fuck? This is
what?
pretty.
I don't even know
fucked up.
what was the argument
no,
about.
It was that couple. That
No,
couple
the
fucked
couple.
up.
Oh, they
the couple
started the
fucked up.
shit.
They
Yeah.
started it, and it's been a long going fight. And like basically, the neighbors were saying that they've been the problem. And then that's what my cousin's girlfriend said. Like people have been calling the cops on that couple
shit, and
for a
that
long
fuck-
time.
Wait, you mean to tell me that a couple that lives on your street and is willing to call a person a pussy is a problem? They're a problem?
It's all-
Like
you're
that
like,
couple.
can't do
No. No.
But I mean, I guess
People,
okay.
it's like you own a home,
Yeah.
and you're starting like that's going to be a long-lasting beef, even if you don't get shot. Like
For sure. I mean, it's like what do they expect him
Yeah.
to do? Like you expect
mean,
him to just come outside
just
his house
take
and
it.
see your across the street house and just never think about
Yeah.
that? You know?
and I'm sure that wasn't the first. Yeah,
no, that's
Yeah,
they
they've
have
been
had a
beefing for
long.
a
They've been
long
beefing
time.
for a long time.
Yeah, it was clear.
Yeah, but I mean,
And my wife was saying, well, I call her my wife because it's easier, but
Yeah.
it's like she was saying that he probably pulled out a gun before and did
yeah, like
nothing.
brandish it or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
you better pull it out. You better
because she
use it.
says, because I think he shoots in there. It seems like.
There's nothing in the story, and I thought the same thing. I was like, is she pulling something? There's
I
nothing
thought,
in the
yeah,
story that
it
says that
looked
she
like-
was a gun found on her at all.
No.
So I think he's right with the high point. I think that is correct.
Yeah,
And I think he came out because there's a
must have
bunch
been.
of shots before, and they're still fucking saying stuff, and
Yeah.
that's where I think that they were
was
still
he
in
shooting
shock.
in the air?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think he was shooting in the air, or he was just missing them
He was
because he
probably
shoot.
missing. Like
Oh,
if I hear this a lot because I watch a lot of shit on just like military tactical shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they always say if you ask a Navy SEAL if you're in close quarters, like I think I just cut out.
Yeah.
It's
oh, you might have cut. You might have.
okay. Damn, you can't
Oh,
step
you're
on
good?
certain stuff in here. All right, I love it because it was like beautiful in here, but it's like all right, this is some hood shit.
It's still a
Like,
little
I'm
bit.
still at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you ask a Navy SEAL, like if like close quarters like this,
Yeah.
what would you rather have, a knife or a gun?
Knife,
Right?
every time.
Every
right?
time
Yeah.
because guns miss all the
Yeah.
time.
What is
right?
it? What do they rate? It's like within 50 feet, a knife's more dangerous, or 30 feet.
Yeah.
It's something like that. Because people, you can aim, but if something's happening, you're not gonna fucking remain calm and fucking put one in somebody's head. Like,
No.
Yeah,
And I mean,
ain't
that's why,
happening.
but that's why, like, there's so many shots going off. So that's why my brother was like, no, she has a gun. She's shooting. And I'm like, I don't think she has a gun. And that would be a part of the story.
Yeah.
And, like, here's the thing. Yeah, the couple seems like a problematic couple. But my point was, like, I mean, saying someone's a pussy and fucking shotgun to the head is a little bit of a
Yeah.
jump.
But he shot him, and then he went back and got a different gun, didn't he?
Yeah, he got an
that
AK.
was
Yeah,
fucking-
clips her, clips him.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
That chick was a tank too.
And yeah, we need to.
She kept ticking.
She's probably.
He
still
double
alive.
tapped her in the
Yeah,
head, and she was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
"Pussy,
Yeah, she's still saying pussy.
you're gay." Go back.
Wait, I love also the neighbor that comes in after she's on the floor in the middle, and he's like, "Is everyone all right?" And we're like, "No."
What the fuck? You heard gunshots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing is, I can't believe nobody slipped. I mean, is that a sheet
that's
of
what I
ice?
was
The whole time I was like, they're gonna fucking fall.
They got good boots.
But it's funny, I've only watched it on
Yeah,
my
yeah.
phone, but
They,
like,
they got their snow
That's
feet.
an REI neighborhood.
Yeah.
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 Those are nice merrills on
Yeah.
those feet.
Yeah, look at the brick in his yard, like the brick wall.
Yeah,
That's-
right here.
That's like,
beautiful.
that's money,
It's
baby.
beautiful.
Very
That's
nice.
good. That's
Yeah.
EP Henry right there.
Look how long his driveway is. You can't even see his house.
Regal.
They even did a good drive.
I mean, also, listen, I've had high adrenaline and I've done stuff but the idea of shooting somebody going back inside.
Well,
Like, I'll give you the first time. I'll give you,
blank,
he was just seeing
yeah.
red. But like, I'll give you the first one. Like, all right, you're a little upset. You go inside, you get your gun. The fact that he hits them, he goes back inside and gets
Yeah.
a fucking, I think it's like an AK. What are they called?
AR-15.
An AR-15.
probably.
It's
Because
the
I
gun
thought
you
it was
should have got the first time.
Yeah.
You should have got that gun the
That's
first
what, at least
Yeah.
if you're gonna do it right.
right.
Okay, I'll
But
give him
that's
that.
why they thought it was. That's why everyone thought it was like a shotgun, or whatever. And then it's supposedly it's not. It's like a.
But that was. What were you saying about the Navy SEAL thing?
Well, I mean, other than the fact that just like they always choose a knife over a gun, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, about like, so likely he was just missing because, you know, that's you got to fight against a certain compulsion to not murder people when you're trying to murder a person. I don't know if you've ever seen somebody unfortunately, I've seen somebody shoot somebody to death, and you can see it in the person. They're reconciling their action as they're doing it. It's a really surreal
like making their mind up as they're like, am I really fucking doing it?
Yeah, that's a tough, and I would imagine, I mean, I've never I've never done that.
Pulled a gun.
Like seeing that happen and seeing how human of an experience that is really bizarre.
Jarring.
It's a really trippy thing, man.
That's
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, how the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if my memory like changes it over time.
Yeah,
but like I'll never forget that. Man.
Yeah,
it was just like such a creepy experience. But I did it again. I stepped on that shit. Yeah, but what I did want to say though is I feel like we're really discounting how upsetting it is to have a woman call you a pussy as a man.
Oh, dude, it's brutal.
It's the worst thing you can
especially in front of her husband. You're like, well, what the fuck is he doing?
He's got to die now.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Just on principle
like,
at that
how
point.
many pussies are you going to let her say to me before I have to kill you? Like, this is insane.
How many times do you think she called her husband a pussy before she started going after neighbors?
Yeah, he probably was like giving her a release valve. Like, nah,
I give her 10 a day.
Yeah.
Peggy does 50 a day.
Get it out the neighbor.
I don't, but I like the word. If I'm calling you a pussy, it's not because I hate you.
It's endearing.
It's endearing.
Yeah, I mean, if it's endearing, that's one thing. But when it is,
if you're arguing,
vehement,
yeah.
Like it is. It's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't put my finger on it. Why it is? Why there's such a visceral reaction to it. But it is upsetting. It is very upsetting.
That's upsetting. You ever get in a road rage and like are you arguing with people on the road? Do you get in like road rage?
No, I mean I have a face that you want to half shoot anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like on the road, I'm just like, you can have it.
Yeah. I was thinking the other day, like, you know, when you get in an argument with somebody driving, they're like, suck my dick. I take that better, but if you say suck my cock, I'm like, all right, well, we gotta fight. Yeah. Cock's such an aggressive way to sound like, okay, now.
That is so funny. I don't know.
Getting called a pussy, getting called a bitch drives me crazy.
I think that's the similar triggering thing. Like if a man calls a woman a bitch but means it.
Yeah.
Not if he's like,
not like a playful bitch.
Yeah, it's like, shut up, bitch.
Like
that cuts.
Right.
It's a cutting thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean,
that's like a record scratch.
Well,
like,
it's funny. I have that. It's fun because I'm trying to think. I'm trying not to be like, wait, so it's just because it's a woman, whatever. But like, so recently I've been in this weird feud with somebody, and that's sort of like he just kept screaming that I'm a bitch, and that didn't bother me. He called me a victim at one point. I was like, you can shut your fucking mouth. Yeah. Like to me, that's like saying I'm a pussy.
Pull your AR-15
because it's also such an easy thing to just like, oh, you white woman bitch, you're playing the victim, and I literally that's when I snapped. I was like, get the fuck out. I'm like, fuck you, suck my fucking
throw a
cock.
hamburger.
I'm like, you can call me anything in the fucking world. You don't fucking call. I am not a fucking victim. I am not fucking here to be like your fucking victim. Like, oh, because that's what the whole thing was like. Oh, I know we can't upset the white woman. I'm like, first of all, stop acting like I'm some prim and proper white woman. I get into more fights than anyone I know. Like literally, I fought from the stage 95% of the time I'm on stage. So like, it's definitely not like I'm not that. I'm not the call your manager white.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I wish you were.
I would take
sick.
That manager out back and beat the shit out of him. Wait, is that a thing?
Yeah, I feel like nobody likes to be called a coward by the opposite sex.
Yeah, but that's
it.
Coward insinuation.
It hurts.
Brutal.
Yeah,
it hurts.
Yeah,
and that's what a victim like. That's why I was trying to think. I'm like, there's no like harsh word that would affect me because I'd be like whatever. But the idea that somebody like that was hate this word,
like
but that triggered me. Like I'm like fuck you.
So,
like I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a fucking victim.
And so that's what's triggering about being called a pussy because it's not the word pussy that they're upset about, but it's the fact that you think you can talk to me like that. And you're suggesting that it's going to go on.
There's no repercussions for you acting like that towards me.
Yeah. So it's like now and then going forward, you will then treat me as pussies get treated.
Yeah. True.
So it's like
it's like almost like a jail mentality. Like,
so we get why this guy did that.
Get called a bitch. Yeah, dude. That shit drives me
I don't
crazy.
justify the killing somebody for saying pussy, but
you go leg shot.
I thought he wasn't coming back. I was like, oh, I guess
That
two people
was-
just get clipped, and that's the end of that. And then I was like, this is bad. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to settle
Yeah,
it.
but that
That was
shit
going to be
was-
it. Two people.
The amount of
No,
people.
he came out to kill them, but I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, he came out rocking. He was
Yeah.
not. He was. That
He
was a
didn't,
man.
he didn't come out to shoot him.
Yeah,
No.
he was a
I
man.
was
With, he
hoping.
was. He
That was my
He
hope.
had intent.
I was like, that's how they handle that out there. It's just a little clip.
It's rare you can see intent from like 50 yards away. You just he's like,
you
that guy is
also-
fucking walking.
When he walked away, they should have went in their fucking house.
Yeah, wow.
He didn't run.
yeah.
It blew my mind.
That
He
shit
had a-
was-
Well, I think they were in shock because I think that's why I was saying I think
Yeah.
he's pointing in the air or whatever because they stand there and keep egging
Yeah.
him
Right.
on.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't know. That's why in my head I'm like, oh, maybe it's a warning shot. And then he gets
he
them
got
and
shot
they
in the
don't.
stomach or something. The dude turned around. He looked like he got
He
hit.
got
in the
hit
stomach or
first and
something.
then she got hit.
Yeah.
And then she
Yeah.
stayed there.
Well, I meant the first time he walks in his house to get the first gun.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Like, call
When-
it, dude.
the way
Pack
he
it
walked
up.
away, it was
You
like,
knew it. Yeah,
this
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
going well.
Yeah, he's not going to get
Yeah.
a
This
bat.
isn't going well.
He's coming.
You know, it was so when somebody sent me the video via Instagram Messenger,
Same,
so I
yeah.
had to like hit that
Click
I
the
want to
link.
see it, you know,
Yeah.
because it was like parental, like whatever
They
advisory.
can put the sensitivity
yeah,
thing
yeah.
or whatever.
So
yeah,
I had
yeah.
to click that one, and as soon as he walked away, it was like, this
this
is why
is
I
gonna
had
be
to click
bad.
that fucking button.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
you know, but you gotta pick up on that.
Yeah,
shit.
for sure. Well, people have bad senses. The people who like can't sense if like a fight's going to happen in a bar or something. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck are you paying attention to?
So I noticed it with, you know, because I grew up in very much in a fighting culture. Like, fighting is a very big part of my life, and I see for people who it isn't, right? A lot of people think them screaming at another person or them having like, I guess, the edge on another person,
Yeah, mean shit.
is winning.
That don't
Yeah.
mean shit.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
no. Like you being loud isn't winning.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like,
mean
just,
shit.
Just know that, you know. So I kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't want to get into where I've been picking it up most recently because I don't like to talk about Philly comedy drama. But like a lot of these people,
Yeah.
will
Start
treat you
yelling
as,
shit.
and then
I'm
if
like-
you like, dude.
And then
they're like,
you're
"Whoa,
the
whoa,
asshole.
whoa,
Yeah.
whoa."
You're
You know,
the
it's
psycho.
like, yeah, it's very interesting.
And so again, like as a woman, like that again, like so this person, whatever, this has been going on for like 2 years. And 2 years ago, I threw my jacket down. And I go, "What do you want to do?" Because like, like punch me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm not
I'd rather
engaging.
get
I'm not
punched and
getting kicked out.
embarrassed.
Well, no, and that's my whole point. I'm like, what lesson am I learning here? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So like, I threw my coat down, and that was the first time I could see in his face. He was like. Because I was like, I'm not necessarily going to hit you back because I'm not that dumb. Like, I'm not going to do it first because as strong as I am or whatever it is, it's like a dude is a dude, whatever. And, but then when I was like, fucking, I'll take as long as you let me take my fucking glasses off, you can, if this is what
are
you need to
prescription.
do. And he just kept getting louder and louder. And I wanted to be like, so that's what happened again most recently where I just stood there and I'm like, I'm listening to the beating. Fucking,
You're like,
all
what?
right, what do you want? And he's like, see, and that's when he called me a victim. And I was like, I want to take you outside and fucking slit your wrists.
Yeah.
Like in,
I don't know.
But
The comedy beef's always weird. Because people, it's always people talking shit behind. Like nobody will ever. I don't. Nobody's actually said anything to me personally.
It's one sided.
Yeah.
They don't even have the decency to let you know that they're beefing. And,
Yeah, that they have a problem with you.
that it's happening. They just like spread it to people. So I have
and you hear whisper down the lane. And
so
you're like, what the
dude,
fuck? That was a problem?
Just
Yeah.
just check this out, right? So I have a really funny female comedian friend that she's like a sister to me. Like she used to live with us when we lived in Atlanta. Like as soon as we met in Pittsburgh, like her and we just all hit it off right away. It just felt right, you know.
Got you.
And so she comes out to visit me every now and again, and she came to visit, and we went to go. It was when they were doing this like bullshit open mic at the Fire. It was like those guys that were at Ortlieb's, and they like started doing a little. Was and you know, not mention any names, like they're not necessarily the greatest on stage comedians, but I love hanging out with those guys. They're funny, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted her to, because I was trying to sell her to live in Philly, and I'm like, listen,
This is gonna be fun.
even the fucking comedians that aren't good comedians are just fun to be around here. Like come,
It's a good
come
vibe.
see
yeah, it's a good vibe.
right?
Yeah.
So like I brought her to that open mic, and we're hanging out, and then a female comedian, I'll tell you who it is after the show. She comes up to her and she tells her, "You don't want to be seen with him. That's bad news for you. That's a bad look for you."
Oh my God.
Well, I
You know,
mean,
and like she didn't even really do it out of earshot. You know, like she
Yeah.
did pour her aside, but
That's
like I
fucking
think she had a
weird.
few, so she was like whispering loud.
Yeah.
You know, but it was
music died down.
You know, like
what?
someone who I've never even seen string together like a 5-minute good set, which is like,
who the
what
fuck
is happening
are you?
here?
Yeah, what is going on?
Not even
but
who are you?
Like, what's going on?
What? Like, I'm funny. Why would you tell her to not be associated with a funny person in the world of stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
It's like, no, come hang out with us fucking marginal people that gang up on people and
the nerds that group together and then start bullying people.
It's like I don't know, man. It was a really interesting thing to see, and then they deny it all. Like they have no integrity. Like if you catch me up doing some shit,
talking shit,
I'm like, you fucking got me. I did.
Well, and that's what
I'm talking shit. You heard me talking shit. I was talking shit.
Well, and that's the thing. I will say that
crazy.
This person that I had this thing with, we're fine now, and it's partly because every time this happens, I'm like, at least he fucking says it to my face. I'm like, all right.
Well, you gotta respect that on some level.
Like on some level, I'm like, and that's why it's really funny because I'm like, there was a couple times where I'm like looking at him, I'm like, dude. We're not enemies.
We don't even have a problem.
We don't have a problem. Like you just happen to put something on me, which is fine. But that whole thing of like, because I found out when I moved here, Six eventually told me that like, and I've talked about this, that a bunch of the girl comics who I didn't know, and now listen, I knew you before I moved back because of just being in Philly once in a while, and I knew Six and I knew O'Connor. You guys were those people that when I would come here, I would see. So it wasn't like I was like, this is the cool group. Like these are just the people I knew when I moved here.
Yeah.
And one of those people, whatever, messaged me to be like, oh, do you want to be in this Philly girl comedy group? Like on Facebook, and I was like, "Hey, I did that in New York and LA." Like, I feel like I'm like at the
funny
time too.
People who happen to be women.
Yeah, like, but also I had just moved here thinking that I was like leaving to go to New York. So I'm like, I don't need to be in another fucking girl group where we decide certain people are monsters, and then I just don't even want to be a part of the drama, whatever. Because of that, there was like an entire fleet of girls who I think a lot of them don't even fucking do stand up anymore, but they just were like, "She's a bitch. She's like elitist," and I'm like. What?
You don't even know me.
I'm like, you don't know me. I'm like, oh wait, I come to an open mic. I don't know you, and I don't talk to you. Yeah, This is work. Like as much as it's socializing, like it is still fucking work, guys. You should be trying to do comedy or whatever. But it is funny when like you're like, wait, that person's had a problem with me this whole time. I've been nothing but fucking nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love the ones that like get drunk and they're like, I had to apologize because I talked mad shit on you, and you're like, I didn't need to know that.
That is the worst.
But thank you.
You know, and then you have to treat them like, because if you don't treat them
then
in
you're
that
the
moment
dick again.
like they're doing something magnanimous, then now you're being the dick they knew you were in the first place.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you want me to grovel?
Oh, I was right when I was talking shit about. It's like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah, what the fuck?
So I didn't know what was going on with me until on Facebook I started seeing a whole bunch of people that I thought we were friends on Facebook in the people you may know section.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa,
wait,
whoa,
we're not
whoa,
friends.
whoa, whoa. It's like, what is this?
This is a lineup murder show.
You know, so I just like, I don't even look at that section anymore. I look at that section as people that I'm doing a favor by not approaching.
Yeah, well, at that point, it's like, what the fuck? But there's nothing here then.
Yeah.
If you already did, like, we got nothing to talk about anyway. But that, because it must have been like, but obviously before somebody said to me about you, they were like, oh, watch out for him. So I was like, I didn't know you. I don't know you at all, but I've never had a bad interaction with you. I'm like, dude, I don't.
I'm gonna tell you a problem they have with me. I'm gonna tell you a problem they have with Peggy. It's a very similar thing.
Yeah.
You know, you might not think that it is, right? Okay. So, we're both authentically who we are.
Right.
And a lot of these people are not authentic people. And your authenticness around them kind of like highlights their lack of authenticity.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to be demonized in some way, shape, or form.
They got to find something wrong.
Got to take something off of you. You know, so that they can feel comfortable being shitty, their shitty selves.
They want to justify whatever the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. It's just, they just don't have, first of all, they want to be considered something, having not done the work to be considered that thing.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, if Peggy gets up on stage and she's, like, brash and, like, I'll fucking fight anybody. Yeah, because she'll fucking fight anybody.
Yeah.
You know, because she's been through that. She's been in... So, these people want to, like, put on the uniform of, like, I am a tough woman, hear me roar. But it's, like, when it comes time for anything, they crumble. Yeah. You know, so it's... And I didn't mean to just, like, highlight, like, a woman in that situation, but I was
No, but yeah.
But it's the same... Like, the dudes...
Same
are
shit. Terrible.
Like, I mean, I don't really do well with pussy men, and that's comedy.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is like comedy.
Not
like,
everybody, but goddamn,
a large majority of them, and a lot of them are like And a lot of them are some you won't even think they are, right?
I don't know.
Like, I be hearing shit, and I'm like, why is this getting celebrated?
Oh yeah.
Right? Like I again, not to say any names, and I'm not even calling this guy a pussy, but like this is cowardly behavior to me.
Yeah.
Like somebody that we know like punched Aaron Nevins in the face. From Good.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, what?
Oh, I gotta hear about
Like,
it.
I don't even care. I don't care what that man does. That tiny little man. I don't care what that tiny little man does to you.
Well, that's exactly.
You do not punch him in the face.
Yeah.
You know,
like there's no need for that.
There's a threshold of size as a human where you no longer get to punch that dude in the face.
Like you're gonna punch a fucking.
You know, and I'm about that. I'm barely at that. You know, like I'm just above that threshold, and this dude was bigger than me.
Yeah,
and it's
I can't
like,
wait to hear about that one.
Yeah, I just heard about it.
Yeah,
but when I heard about it, it was being celebrated as like proof that like this guy is
a hard guy.
Yeah, where it's like that's what proves that to you.
Fucking bully.
That's a bully. That's for sure a bully.
I don't know many guys at Good I've met that are punch worthy. You know what I mean?
They are, but it's not.
No, but I'm
saying
size. Like you're gonna beat up a fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You think I'm gonna fucking waste my golden iron fist on these pussies? Dude.
I thought you said golden Irish fist. I was like, I didn't see the paperwork on that.
Irish. I forgot about that.
And going back to like what you're saying, it's like they want to be something that they're not. Like they didn't do the work. It's like I put the work in. I've done this 11 years. But I also started with a group of people that like, if you had beef, you figured it out on stage and it was funny and like you fucked with each other and you like, it was like before roast battle became even like this huge thing. Honestly, that's what used to happen at open mics. It happened all the time in New York where like you would see it like one guy goes up and he's like low key fucking with this one
throwing
person.
Shade at you,
and then the other person goes up and does it. And it's like, honestly, kind of
it's
awesome.
healthier. At
It's
least
way
you talk
healthier.
about the shit instead of telling your friends about it.
But also it's like, yeah, let's just be funny. That's literally the only goal here is to be funny. So when people like, I always call it like real lifing you. I'm like, when someone takes it off stage or like they say something to, it's like the guy who was like, I say suck a dick and then he's like, you can suck my dick. And I'm like, well, you do. Like this is
what we're doing.
I'm joking. These are jokes.
Yeah.
But it's like the same as like you get off stage and someone like comes at you and you're like, fucking say it on stage. Get a laugh on my expense.
Yeah, make fun
love
of me.
it.
Shit on me.
Because someone said that she's like, he was like, someone recently was like, oh yeah, the first time I saw you, you shit on me. And I was like, that's probably because I liked something on your set. Yeah. If I remembered something that you said and I think that you're better than what you said and I go up and I make fun of you for it, like to me, when that happens to me, I'm like, that person likes me. That's flattery. Like also that's fucking comedy. You're going to get off stage and be pissed off. You can't take getting made fun of
at a fucking open mic, quit.
Seriously.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you got to keep in mind
not be a bully, but
there was an influx of talentless people into the comedy scene. And then it got all twisted up and people were fucking doing spreadsheets and like writing manifestos about like inclusion and shit. And it really got, I remember one time in what I call a manifesto, it said that if you see a comedian hanging around and going to all the open mics, it shouldn't matter if they're funny. You should still book them on your show.
No.
What?
So it's like,
that's a fucking insane thing to say. That's a participation.
Yeah,
like no,
but we're in. I mean, I know it's probably. Oh, we always try to like not say things like this, but like being in that post participation trophy society, right? So I didn't really watch Survivor.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
I never
wasn't
watched it either.
right? But Anthony was recently watching it on Netflix or whatever streaming service that it's on, and there was this one season. There's this black chick on there, and I think it's like smart people versus like athletic people, right? And there's this black chick that claims to be a nuclear engineer, right? I hope it's Survivor. I don't want to be. She watches a lot of trash.
Women.
But so they have to build their hut, right? So she's trying to, endear herself to the team right away because she wants to like be an asset. Yeah. So she starts directing people about how to build this thing. And these fucking meek nerds who know everything they're being told is wrong, they're just like, well, but she's in charge, like she's also a POC. I don't want to, it's just like
an angry black woman.
They just all mutter to each other about how it's not going to work, right? Mm-hmm. They work all day long to set up a hut, and as soon as like they walk away to take a look at it, it just fucking falls apart. And nobody's like, You're
Bitch,
dumb.
yeah,
You're
you
a dumb
fucked me.
person.
Yeah.
Like if you watch the things that she's telling them to do, it's like that.
How's that ever going to work out?
You don't have even an engineering degree. Like how do you?
Yeah. What's happening?
What is this?
Yeah.
And you can talk your like if you have good enough posture and you speak well enough, you can talk your way into some shit, man.
Yeah.
That's that. Who's the girl who started the? Not just because it's all girls. Remember that girl that was starting the blood testing thing, and was on like Forbes list, and they found out she was a complete fucking fraud in Silicon Valley. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. That was
Same. It sounds like the same kind of shit.
Dude, do you remember that like 18-year-old boy in Georgia that started up a gynecology clinic?
Oh yeah, he rules. Is he that meme? It's the black kid in the doctor's coat. Is it that kid?
Yes, that guy.
Wait, I did not hear that. That's hilarious.
God just loved pussy.
Might have been younger than 18.
Yeah, when they pull up a picture, you're like, you went in this dude's office and you were like, here's my snatch.
So
it's crazy.
That's so crazy.
the best part is like
Yeah, he got
He
3
didn't
years
do it
in
again?
prison.
he didn't do it again, but like there's I don't know I think he did something again
He
or
did
did something
again.
before.
Yeah.
But
Maybe it was before
when they were
that.
they
Yeah.
were interviewing him and they're like
Christ.
basically calling like on the street calling him out, and you're looking at him it's like he sounds like a fucking politician. Like
He's just next level.
I don't think he should have did what he did, you know.
Yeah.
And he's definitely paying the consequence for it. But like in his fall from grace, he was handling it really well.
Guy's a winner.
You're like, wow.
This guy is fucking spectacular. This is a
He went and got fake
17 years old.
Yeah.
South Florida.
And he's also tall too. So that,
Oh,
that
okay.
really helps like when you're trying to like
it's stature.
when you're trying to like I guess overshoot your credibility in a situation.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're tall, people will be like, I don't know. That sound
maybe.
sound
I
right.
guess that sounds He might be able to dunk. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You never
for real.
know.
How did they figure it out? Did somebody
I
eventually
forget
like
the story.
Yeah, it was like he was like examining a pussy with a cucumber or something.
Yeah,
I
and
don't-
somebody was
he
like,
didn't
"This ain't
have the
kosher."
tools.
oh my god.
He had like a stethoscope
Yeah.
against the pussy. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Sounds good.
He's putting a
That
funnel in it and
is
shit.
so crazy.
It's so funny, that dude. I love good fake doctor stories, like when they catch
Yeah.
chicks like shooting silicone to people's ass. I'm like, you don't do any like background checking if you're putting something in my body. I'm like, I need to see some kind of credentials, like something, dude.
I know. Like I was just thinking about like the things.
I mean, that's a picture.
His face
Yeah.
make t-shirts.
Like the things that I would do if I was trying to be a fake gynecologist and I was like making it up on the fly.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure I would put a tuning fork in a pussy
Yeah,
and just like
go
just hit
tuning
it
fork.
Yeah, just dig-
and be like,
pH level just got balanced.
Good.
This is a new
Good.
Eastern medication. Yeah, this is a new Eastern medication. It's going to ring a certain bell and we'll know.
The ringing
Listen,
rock
like-
will let you know.
now just go
And like on another level, it kind of makes sense that it would work with a gynecologist because so many girls don't talk about shit like that. Like,
Oh, yeah, they
you
do.
don't even talk. Like most girls are like, I don't know, what the inside of my pussy looks like. I don't know. Like, sure,
Yeah.
I guess this. So it's like that thing of like, there's a bunch of women who are just like, I think it was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird, but I mean, he
was too
seems
happy
nice.
about
Yeah. Has anybody ever put a tuning
Yeah.
fork in your pussy?
Yeah. He had a lot of
He had a
fruit.
lot of corn dogs.
Do you know what octave your pussy's in?
This is great. You don't record. You should record. This is crazy. God
Sounds like
damn.
goop. It sounds like Jen Gwyneth Paltrow shit.
Who the?
This is great. He got 3 years, so they did catch
got
him.
3
He got
years
3
for-
years for that. Yeah.
You gotta be.
I think he talked his way out of it. I think he became a lawyer.
Damn,
In
he's like
jail.
he's like real life Frank Abagnale. Well, he was real life Frank Abagnale. You know who that is?
Oh, yeah, Catch Me If You Can?
Catch Me If You
Yeah,
Can.
yeah,
guy.
Yeah.
That guy rules.
Yeah, dude, he got caught but right before he became a pilot. He got caught. My brother was so my brother started getting his pilot's license or started flying when he was 12.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so he was like already flying. Yeah, because you can start. It's
You can just do it,
unbelievably early.
right?
How you can start with
Flying.
Airplanes.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'd be pissed if I got on an airplane. I'm going to like Key West and like there's a 14-year-old flying the fucking plane.
yeah.
They don't do commercial.
They
but-
don't do commercial, but yeah. They don't. And you gotta get 10,000 hours, however you can get them.
Yeah, right.
And they're very supportive of like people starting it early.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
it's not
wild.
cheap. It's not
Oh
cheap.
yeah, I was supposed to say.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, I
That's
feel
like,
like there's
hockey
like
times 1,000.
Yeah, that's
like
like-
the most expensive fucking sport.
people are like, if an 8-year-old can fucking afford it, why are we gonna stop it? It's
reach the
like,
pedals?
let's go, come on.
Yeah.
It's
You
it.
tall?
I have like the types of parents that like we were always really poor, but whenever we have money, it's only dedicated to like whatever the kids were interested in and
That's
getting
awesome.
drunk as fuck.
Oh, that's not that awesome.
I like that.
No, it was very conflicting.
Yeah.
It was a very, but it was, it was interesting.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
like half of my childhood.
Yeah,
My dad.
all of my brothers are really good at
Something.
like
they got a
but
thing.
really good at something.
Yeah. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Though.
Yeah.
How many siblings you got?
Oh, so with my mom, it's Michael, Nicole, and then with my dad, it's Derek, Darius, Alicia, and Angel. So 6.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good family.
Yeah.
Solid.
Nice.
Got a lot of big
fun.
families.
Yeah,
Where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Pottstown, but just real quick, I don't have the same mom and dad as any of my siblings.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm the only
Yeah,
original,
yeah.
baby.
That's good.
Shout out originals.
But the other ones share siblings?
Only the kids that I named with my dad.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what my mom had me, or my dad had my 2 older brothers with his wife, and then my mom had me, and then my mom had 3 more after me.
Just getting it in.
Shit. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Unprotected sex. Living
Fuck
large.
Yeah, brother.
Dude.
I was probably conceived any day now. November 16th, Valentine's
Oh,
Day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Close. Mom
Oh,
was
yeah.
getting porked in a Trans Am.
I love it.
Man.
Tough sledding.
Yeah. Do you ever like you ever think about like how much like your mom probably was fucking?
Yeah.
It's hard to not think about.
It's tough.
Man, it's like I was mostly with a single mom, like in the house, but like my dad lived close by always.
Yeah.
So I was always like within walking distance or like a not too long bike ride
Yeah.
from him. So he still was like kind of influential in my life.
Oh,
But
okay.
my mom was just like, she was like really open sexually. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Best way to
Would
say
just
it.
say shit to you and you'd be like,
Dude,
"Ah."
my mom is the most naked person I've ever met.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Still to this
gosh.
day.
Damn.
Like, and she doesn't like if we go over to visit her, and if she was already naked, she's not putting clothes on. It's her house.
Damn, that's wild.
That is wild. I came from the opposite house. We weren't allowed to take our shoes off.
That's why you got a problem with your eyes flinching.
Yeah.
How'd you flinchy?
For a very long time, I didn't believe that. Like,
Wait,
if
you
would-
didn't believe what?
Like, if she would have told me that, like 20 years ago,
What'd
that
she say? I
She
didn't hear
came
it.
from the opposite as me.
Like, meaning I come
Like,
from a house, like, we're so
everybody's-
clothed. Like, we don't take our
yeah,
shoes
yeah.
off.
That's how indoctrinated I was
You're like,
to
everybody's
believing
naked.
that this is not like it's like some people just don't like to admit it because they're more proper.
Yeah.
Right,
But they all do it
But everyone
behind
does
closed
it.
doors.
Yeah,
Right?
whatever you grow up around, yeah.
Dude, it was like learning that people came from very different.
Now, did that
Your mom
make
has
you,
house clothes? This is crazy.
did that make you more free with nakedness, or did it actually reverse it? Because I could see it doing one or the other. Like you then grow up to be like the most modest because you're like, oh God, it was wildly uncomfortable or whatever
Yeah,
it
it
is.
either goes one or two ways.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever, but it's like at the same time, like I don't watch porn. When I say that, people think
No?
I don't watch porn. Like
That's awesome.
My mom was also hot.
Oh, you had a hot mom?
Yeah, I had a hot mom, a hot naked mom all the time.
That is trouble.
So like, porn was weird.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying.
It's like-
were you like my mom kind of looks like that?
Dude, the only time I want to see a woman naked is if things are about to go down.
Yeah.
Like don't even try to entice me. Like so so
You're a
here-
very regimented man.
dude, I just like just don't, like there's certain things that it's like kind of cheesy to me, like lingerie and shit. So my mom would walk around, she'd like buy lingerie and walk around in it, and she wouldn't use it. She wouldn't use it for like guys and stuff.
Yeah, to ply
because
men
she
with.
was like, my mom's
That's
also
for
like
me.
so fucking sex. She hates men.
Yeah.
She hates that she's heterosexual.
Disgusting.
Yeah, she hates it. But like
I
so
like her. I feel very
Yeah,
much
she
like
rules.
that too.
Yeah.
I call my lesbian friend all the time, like, how can you change me?
Yeah.
Someone change me.
Dude,
I had,
you'll
I
have a
had-
pill
dude,
soon.
my mom is fun. Like,
Yeah, she sounds fun.
Not a great mom, right?
Not a great-
But like she would make up for it by like she was like our friend, like because she just she had my sister when she was 15. She had me not too long after that.
Yeah.
So she wasn't an adult. She was just she was making the shit up as she went.
Yeah.
It was like whatever is supportive of my kids.
As long as they're good. Yeah.
Dude, it was like
That's wild.
I had one of these moms that like everything I did was like, that is the best. You're gonna be the best at that.
That's my mom.
You are amazing.
That is your mom.
My mom's the same way.
Dude, moms are so much better with sons.
Yeah, she's
My
like, are you wearing that, bitch? You gonna wear that again? Disgusting.
Yeah, women get in. Women get in with each other.
Yeah.
Well,
Very
also,
early.
do you think? Because I think my mom likes me the most out of my siblings. Not saying it in a fucked up way, but she reflects like she projects my dad onto me, so she likes me. Do you think your mom's like that with you, or
No,
she just all like that with all your brothers?
My brother's the favorite.
Oh, okay.
With my mom, it's again Nicole, myself, then Michael, my younger brother.
Got you.
He's the favorite, rightfully so. He's just like he's amazing.
He earned it.
Oh, really?
He's like, yeah.
That's refreshing to hear. A sibling that's like he's the favorite and he deserves. He had it coming.
Yeah, because that's not like.
I like that.
Yeah, that's
usually he's
awesome. Because
he's
usually
a
it's
pussy. I hate him.
Yeah.
I can fly too.
Yeah, I raised my brother, man. It's
that's cool.
Yeah, he's the man. He's so my mom was like she was so a lot of my personality revolves around a revolt of my mom. Right.
Okay.
So like I was raised to be my uncle that I'm named after is a con artist. So
Frank Abagnale again.
Again, that's his life. I can't even be friends with him on Facebook.
Oh shit!
Because
really?
like that would put my
your whole
friends
shit
in danger.
Circle. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Start scamming people and shit.
Constantly, using other people's social security, like just every
dirt
takes
ball
advantage
move.
of women. Like he's that guy.
Yeah.
And my mom is very. Like everything has like just be charming.
Yeah.
She didn't
put up appearances. It doesn't really matter what you're.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
Again, because like my uncle, this is their life. This is what they're good at.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like I have to be like we were taught to be authentic.
Yeah.
We were like again like fighting is a large part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't see me acting tough. Like nobody would even believe that about me. And that's the reason why I would get into fights because I don't look like a tough guy.
Yeah.
But my mom's whole thing is like if you're spending energy acting tough, you don't have time to become tough.
True.
Right? So if you're wasting time,
that's a good expression.
You just extrapolate that to everything.
She was smart and naked,
dude. I mean, when you're a fighter, like she was a fighter. You see the world differently. You distill it in a philosophical way, and you only use what you can apply.
Yeah,
you know. What I mean?
got you.
So, as far as like being charming was concerned, my mom was like she broke it down for me, man. She taught me how to like be authentically charming in a way that was
non-threatening and
not even non-threatening, but just like made people really like you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Appreciated you.
And like so now, I will only do that on stage at this point in my life. Now I don't do that. I can't act that way off stage because like I also had no sense of like loyalty in a relationship because my mom cheated on every guy she ever dated and bragged about it to her friends on the phone. So I didn't really understand that people were actually loyal. I thought they were just acting.
Oh, everybody,
loyal. So I cheated for the longest time.
We talked about this at fucking Manny Brown's.
Yeah. Dude, I was like, I was a professional cheater, man.
Oh, hell,
I was like the best in the world. And, a lot of it revolved around like authentic charm and just being able to, not just compliment a woman, but compliment her about something that matters.
Yeah.
Because anybody can be like, getting
in the right angle.
Yeah. If you, yeah. And so it was a lot of that.
Yeah.
And it was, so I had to like cut that off cold turkey to save my life.
Well, because it feels gross. After a while, you're like,
it didn't feel gross until like a couple years after not being that way. Like that. Like honestly, like
what stopped? Like what was the thing that made you then not cheat?
Well, it was so Ansley and I we were like looking to just make an authentic go at the relationship because like up until that point, like I was cheating on her, she was cheating on me, and we just really enjoyed being around each other. Like she's my best friend and she always has been since I met her. She's wild. Awesome. She's a wild, crazy woman. I had to stop her from shoplifting. She was a big shoplifter.
Klepto?
Yeah, she's a big. So like
everybody you hang out with sounds cool as shit.
Yeah.
You get calibrated for certain types of people, and like those people, how to work better than others, and like. She's aggressive. She's physically aggressive.
Yep.
She fights now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
She does jiu-jitsu and shit, right? Yeah.
And
awesome.
Even when she played lacrosse, like she was always getting like
that's an aggressive
yellow cards,
sport.
red cards.
Yeah.
She was like knocking bitches off the field.
Hell yeah.
Like seriously, it was crazy. So, so I was, we were very attracted to each other, but neither one of us really saw a reason to give up our philandering ways.
Yeah.
And we moved with each other to Texas, then to Pittsburgh, and then we moved back out to Conshohocken. And this was like after college. And then in Conshohocken, it was like, it was tough, man, because every time we got in the car, it was an argument. Because it was easier to argue you're just like managing so many
It's
lives
like the
at one
boxing
time.
ring of relationships. That's where most fights happen.
They
It's
got
the
to
octagon,
for me. They
baby.
had to happen. They had to happen because otherwise, like she was going to uncover some shit.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's like, so I learned how to lie from a con artist.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't lie. I use truth to lie.
Yeah.
Right. So if I can't link a truth to a lie,
You can't do it. You ain't gonna remember it.
yeah, you know, I'm
That's
stuck.
how it works.
I'm stuck. So it's like, stop being a bitch. You know, let's see what this does. You know, and now we're fighting over that. And it's like, oh, thank God. Oh my God,
throwing a shitty
yeah,
jab.
no, yeah, I know. I'm such a wimp. Yeah, I'm just like,
She's like, I saw that move.
yeah,
that
yeah.
jab.
I'll work on me. I need to work on that. Like, it's just like,
What do you want to listen to? Have
Yeah.
my iPod shuffle out.
yeah, it was just it was the easier thing, and it was the same thing for her. Like
Yeah.
we would get in the car and it would be like, please don't ask a question. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It was
yeah.
like,
You're always on eggshells if you're cheating and doing bullshit. You're like, don't. I hope my
Yeah.
phone doesn't ring. I hope she doesn't ask about this night. You know.
then it's also hard to trust the other person.
Oh hell yeah.
So it's like I also knew she would. Here's the thing, it's like you want her to have a release valve as well,
Yeah.
because you don't want her out there fucking people, but like there's like like I'll let her go flirt. You know,
Yeah.
like let her fucking.
We
do
were
that.
just talking about that. That's also attractive if you're with somebody, right? Sometimes if you see somebody flirting with somebody, you're like, that's fucking.
Well, now that I'm no longer a broken person, no.
Oh,
Now it would
trying to
upset
say?
you.
Yeah,
You pissed?
I mean, well, now it would just be like, what the fuck?
What are you
Huh?
doing? Yeah.
Yeah,
What is
are
this?
yeah, we don't even.
Playing mind game shit.
Yeah, because it's like, so again, we got to a point and it was just like I didn't like, we just didn't like fighting with each other.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we just had so much fun with each other and we just wanted that
Let's
part
just
of the
do that.
relationship.
Yeah.
We're also like, she's my muse. I've been her muse the whole entire time, and that was getting in the way.
Yeah.
It's like I want to see what I can do with this
If
woman.
we stop doing this bullshit.
inspiring me. You know,
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
I would love to
That's
see what she
beautiful.
can do with me inspiring her.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It's adult shit.
yeah, I mean, it
For
was
real.
it was tough, man. We had to sit down and like lay it all out on the table, like everything that we did, all the cheating we did in college and
Oh
shit.
damn! You guys like told everything. Each
Yeah,
other everything?
it took a while. It took like 4 or 5 days to get it all. And it wasn't even on purpose. It would be
Shit's
oh, shit,
popping up. Fuck, I forgot
It's like,
about- yeah.
And it's like, oh, I don't want to have that.
Yeah.
Still.
Right.
Well, because then it's like a month later, and you remember like I never told you about this, and then it's
Yeah.
what else you lying about now?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was tough, man, because it's like the whole point of doing that is like this way we know everything. Nothing from our past can come back
Bite you in
and
the ass
fuck
and-
this,
yeah.
right? And which was I needed.
Step on a landmine
Yeah.
of the year.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
ever have like a crazy girl that tried to blow up it?
Yeah.
Because that would be like that also would be the fear is like that one crazy bitch is
Come
just,
back.
she's just gonna come back and just constantly
So that one crazy bitch would have been someone who was her best friend in college, or
Oh.
someone who she went to high school with and then to college. Right?
Yeah.
And
Hell
then
yeah.
she was like, her and I ended up in whatever we ended up in, however it happened. But she also knew that I cared about Ansley and I wanted to have a relationship with Ansley. And like, I guess we just get so caught up when we're together. We can't help
Yeah.
that. But I was also still doing my other cheating.
Right.
While I
Yeah,
was,
my side, my main cheating was doing
Yeah.
my side cheating.
so, because Ansley went abroad, and while she was abroad
Yeah.
in college, I was hooking up with her best friend, but I was also technically cheating on her best friend. So, like, with in her
That's
mind,
cheating squared.
she's just like, she was just like so, it's like a mind fuck.
I
I feel bad for her
Yeah.
because she couldn't say anything. I didn't even have to hide it from her.
Yeah.
right.
You know what I mean? It was like, and
Complicit.
yeah, I mean, but now I look back on it and it's like I'm really embarrassed that I treated her that way because like she was still a person,
Yeah.
and I kind of was like, because she had her feet to the coals a little bit, I was like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm trapped
you're
here.
gonna tell them no to both? Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, so
You're gonna blow it up. You're gonna blow it the fuck up.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
'Cause I had again, like cheating was like my life.
Natural. Yeah. I was
I
the
mean,
same way.
I don't know if it was natural. I put a lot of work into it, man. I wasn't
Oh,
saying, like,
yeah.
I wasn't born with it. I had
it's
to
also
put
like
the
addicting.
10,000 hours in.
That shit's addicting.
Yeah,
Too.
Yeah.
That's like a fucked up part to admit about all that shit. You're like,
Yeah.
it is fun.
So
Well, and I
Not
think that's
fun,
like
but, like,
kind of what
thrilling,
we've
kind of.
talked about this. Like it's almost like that's like an evolved way. If you guys didn't do that, if you hadn't done work on yourself or whatever, you would have probably kept doing that, whatever. But now instead, it's like you've become this like evolved person enough to be like, okay, let's all admit it. We all fuck up in different ways. Like, okay, we both are cheating. We're all doing this. Like, and we can still move on from that. And because I do think that there's this weird thing with, especially with cheating and stuff. It's just like we've been told it's the worst
It's
betrayal.
the worst thing that could ever happen in the history of.
And the truth is, like, I was thinking about this recently because I'm like, whatever. I'm like the forever single person, and just recently, especially because since I bought the house, like, I'm like, oh right, like there's like a huge part of me that like loves to be alone and like loves the idea that I could, if this guy doesn't want to fucking talk to me tonight, I can text 10 other dudes. Like there is some part of me that I'm like, it's like an attention thing, but then in the end, it's like I also don't really want anyone in this space. Like, so it's like a strange thing but we've been just like put in our heads that like that's the worst thing someone could do to you. And honestly, the more and more I like think about it, I'm like, I've never given a fuck about the
person you
and maybe
cheat
it's
with
different because I'm a girl, so I think like I can really justify men doing that, like cheating on girls like habitually, because I'm like, oh yeah, it's strictly sex for them. But like I know
we
for
also
a
hang out with
fact,
a fucking ton of comics.
right.
You know what I mean? It's like,
well, it's also too, I feel like a lot of those people are really dishonest with themselves about where cheating begins.
yeah.
Right?
yeah, true.
Because like I don't cheat, right?
Yep.
And to me, that means also I don't conduct myself in a way to make a woman who may or may not be attracted to me think I'm attracted to her. Right.
Yeah,
So
like,
if I
like giving it an option kind of thing.
yeah, if it's something that I can't tell Ansley, then
Yeah,
I'm
you
not,
shouldn't do it
I'm
anyway.
not doing it. Like,
Yeah, no, I hear you.
or if I know that it would, like, if she saw it, it would affect her
And
self-esteem
you would feel
in
like
some way.
shit, and you don't want
it's
to make
like-
her feel.
Well, I mean, I don't have that feel like shit trigger, so I have to be very mindful of everything that I do, man.
Yeah.
I can't, because again, like, I grew up with like con artists, be charming, be like, lie till you die, like all that shit. Like these are the things that my mom would say to me, so I don't really feel guilty about this shit.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
What I know is what's good for me in my life, and that's what I just
You're
make
geared
moves
towards,
So
No, that's an adult way of thinking about it. That's how I was the same, because I grew up. My mom was always like, your dad cheated on fucking everybody, and you realize, you hear that, and I'm like, you just assume that's what you should be, and eventually I was like, oh, am I just fucking doing this because, you know what I mean? Like, am I just mindlessly doing this? It is like an addictive thing, though. For me, at least, it was.
yes,
To always be talking to fucking juggling 6 girls and fucking, I don't know. It's like
just knowing you can do it is also
addicting.
fun.
Yeah, true.
Just you'll be in a situation and you'll be talking to a woman and she'll like express like, oh, she'll find you funny.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, is she attracted to me?
Yeah, she.
You know, like let me
test the waters on
persuade
this.
this conversation into a way where she has to touch me first. To,
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit,
I can do it.
like, now, wait, is she? Now, but is she really into me though?
She
Like
fucking with me?
if I touched her, is she gonna lean towards me if I do that?
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it's like now you're like whispering in her, like talking like really close in her ear. It's just like it just gradually
Snowballs.
yeah, and it's fun. Like each new stage along the way is like one of the small boards for Mario where you're just getting like that little flag, and then like
Yeah.
I'm still, no, I got you. It's weird. I don't know. I think that it's not done, but like with all the internet dating shit, it's gonna be so fucking weird to see. I don't know.
I'm sorry. My brain just kept going on that analogy.
Keep going.
I need to talk that out for a second.
Going.
Because
keep on going.
because like when you start off in the first, because I didn't even realize that made sense until I said it. So you start off in the first world, and it's like it's just like you're just testing the water, just seeing what this is all about, and then you get that first flag, and after you get the first flag, now you're in the underworld. Now you're cheating. Like anything from that point on, you're cheating.
Depends.
He doesn't want to move.
Okay. Wait. No, let's talk about that. Because you also said something which I'm like how you said about the naked thing, like that's crazy to you that my family's. The idea that you don't have guilt to me is maybe the most mind-blowing thing in the world, because I've literally
Catholic guilt, baby.
my entire life, it feels like guilt. And I actually think that in my 20s and my like 30s and even doing comedy or even being a performer, like this is me like really obsessively being like, you don't feel guilty. You're doing this because you don't feel guilty. But like, if I was being honest with everyone, I'm in a constant
state of guilt.
Yeah,
same.
I constantly think I'm going to the principal's office. I constantly think I'm in trouble. And it's funny because that's how I self-sabotage is I just do more and more stuff that I know I'll mentally beat myself up for.
Whip yourself into a frenzy kind of.
So, you don't have you don't have that guilt thing. So it's almost like a calculated game, like you're saying, like where you're like,
you have to make yourself feel responsible for her feel. Like you don't want to hurt your wife's
So you don't
feelings.
actually live from you, right?
Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, I know what's better for me. Like this is what's better for
In
my
your
life.
yeah.
Like
Because it affects her feelings.
as like in the collateral effect of that, she gets a loyal man.
Yeah,
right.
Which
But
makes you feel better about yourself.
yeah, I mean, because you got to be honest.
Guy. Yeah.
We're on this earth to survive everything coming at us and then die. Right? So we're really on this earth to survive that. So we're it's for us. We're on this earth for us. We're on, like, as much as like all
At
the
the end
other
of the day, it's
stuff
selfish.
adds to the quality of life,
Yeah.
is we're really just for us. And like being honest about that really helps me,
not be as for
be
yourself.
authentic in a relationship,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like, I don't have to pretend with anything.
That was good. I mean,
and if
hell yeah.
I do something for her, it's because I want this to be for her.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
And
all-
it's like
I mean-
I don't feel guilty. Like I'll put it to you this way: I don't buy birthday presents. She's not getting anything for Valentine's Day.
I'm good all year, baby.
Christmas, I don't give a fuck.
No kids get stuff.
Yeah. I mean, from grandparents and stuff, But it's like again, now we're always like, I told you, growing up poor like that. Every Christmas I would get the newest hot thing.
Yeah.
Like a Nintendo, but because we got Nintendo,
You ain't getting
now we're
dick
getting
all year.
evicted.
Right.
So like I grew up with that, and it's
Yeah.
like seeing that be the substitute for being like a responsible parent.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hey, I'm
like the micro
I
instead of the
love you.
macro.
Yeah,
You're
it's
not
like this
yeah.
proves I love you because we'll sacrifice electricity
Yeah.
for a month just so you can have a Nintendo. That's
like,
the strength of your mother's love.
How the
It's
fuck
like,
am I gonna work the Nintendo with no electricity, baby?
for sure, right? It's
You're
like
naked.
also
You fucking me.
yeah, just pay the electric bill and don't.
Yeah, no,
pay
I
the
hear it.
Nintendo.
Be
You know what I mean? Like, be
responsible
resp-
adult instead of
So
yeah.
I don't like, and again, like having a con artist as like a fucking influential part of my life.
Yeah.
I don't do anything that will
Like shiesty
represent anything that will represent me outside of my actions. Right.
I got you.
So if
Yeah.
I don't like to
No
participate
actions
in it.
outside of your character, basically.
Nah,
yeah, right?
I can't. Because it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Like seeing how somebody reacts when they get a Christmas gift. You're like, fuck.
Oh yeah, I want to do that all the
That's
time.
it. Yeah, and then I know since I am addicted to that
Feeling. Yeah.
I just
Where else can I take
just
that?
gotta stay away from it.
Yeah, I mean that's
Dude,
know
that's
yourself.
like fucking
That's
discipline
pretty-
as shit.
Yeah, that's good though.
It's great.
It's a high level of knowing yourself.
Now, like, okay, let's say if when you guys had it all out over those 4 or 5 days, if she came back at you and said something like along the lines of like, I don't know if I can be in a relationship for long term without having the option of another dick or whatever.
Like an open
Would
relationship
you,
kind of deal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, of being like I ultimately can't rule out the fact that I'm not going to fuck up again. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or even just like, or like if you know, like if I knew I was dating somebody who like was a sex addict, right? Like, and for them, they
Once in a while
needed to do something, or they needed to go get a rub and tug. Like I've had this conversation with dudes where I'm like,
Yeah.
if that's your medicine, like if that's your thing that like fixes whatever the thing you need to fix
Whatever
about
your
yourself,
deal
or
is,
whatever
yeah.
your thing is to feel validated as a person, it might take me a second or so, but like I am able to disassociate.
I can
that.
rationalize
I
that,
can
at least.
rationalize
Yeah.
that because to me, if I'm in a committed relationship with somebody, it's way more about emotions and feelings, and yes, of course, the sex and stuff. But if it's like I'm on the road and he's like, I wanted to get laid that
Fucked
night,
up, yeah.
like there is a part of me that I'm like, yeah, okay, if that's what you need, just like
You said that before, that it would crush you. Like it wouldn't bother you if somebody fucked somebody. If you found out that they were texting with somebody for like a week, you'd be like,
That would fuck me up.
murder you.
Yeah, if you
Which
were
I get, yeah,
emotionally,
hell yeah.
if you're emotionally falling in love with somebody, get the fuck out of here. Like because to me, I'm like, well, now that's the only thing
That's my thing.
that was no, but that's our thing. That's our
Yeah.
relationship. This is like
It's way different of a betrayal.
well, and it's like the other day, like the guy who I was hooking up with like left to like go smoke with this girl, and like that girl whatever said something along the lines of like, oh, I'm just like a guy's girl, like it had nothing to do with like sex or anything. And I was so
I'm a
fucking
guy's girl.
and I'm not even a guy's girl because I have all the girl, but I'm like, but I'm always the fun. Wait, no, I'm that girl that you sneak away and you
Yeah,
fucking
what the
talk
fuck?
shit on your girl. Like, and so there's like a big part of it. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't. Like, if I was
can't deal
dating a
with
guy
that.
who was like, you can't, hang out with Ryan just one-on-one. You can't just be hanging out with the dudes. You can't do this, whatever. Like, I would be like, well, no, that's a
my
part
life.
of my
Yeah.
life is that like I have that or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So I'll a short answer, no, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. But like we were also talking about. I mean, we at that point it's like we're going to build together or not at all because like we're blowing it all up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We're
Like, starting
doing it.
from
We're
ground
not.
zero.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we're either gonna
Foundation up,
and-
baby.
So like the key components I think that led to this working is that we were like, okay, here's what I know for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a human. You're a human, and we have to treat each other that way. We cannot have this idea of like any sort of perfection or anything that we have to be in this
Rom-com
relationship.
shit.
We are us, and we are putting it together.
Yeah.
And that was the most helpful. That is because like we were always a little bit open because I came from a very open upbringing. So
Yeah.
like we'd never close a bathroom door.
Yeah.
Like in my it's like very like when you were like Ansley farts at me.
Right.
It was like we run around the house. Like we actually play this game as a family where every time somebody farts, we just blame it on the person right next to you. Like even
Not
if
me.
you're the only two people in the room.
That's
Farting on me, motherfucker.
So this like today I was in the kitchen like today and my twins were in there doing their ABC mouse. And my one daughter, 5-year-old girls, by the way, she had a fart that was so fucking room rattled that I could feel it on my
Shook the
feet
foundation,
in the
baby.
other room. And she instantly was like, "Ew, Cora." Yeah.
A little
Wait,
kid
you know
with
what though?
Good fart
Let's
humor is
talk in
solid.
30 years because I bet you one of your kids is never. That's why I'm anti-fart is because my family was like
They were ripping them.
Oh my god,
Broadway
my brother,
Carol busting.
Oh, wow, that's like a running joke in our house. Is like mom, me, and a moo cooking bacon, farting. I hated it, and I remember being little and being like, I hate it so much.
Yeah.
and
Fart on
and
my
like
bacon.
literally, I have girlfriends that are like, I've never heard Peg. I'm like, I think there's 3 people in my life who've heard me fart. My brother when I was younger. And
Me and Jesus.
yeah, I think 1 or 2 times during sex accidentally queefed or something. But like, and honestly, I didn't talk to that guy for like probably 2 years. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, he's dead to me. That never
Put
happened.
on a hood and leave the room.
But it was because my family was so open that they still are. Like, if anybody goes to the bathroom, my brother just goes boom, like everyone's shitting or whatever. And I like it still rattles
your
me.
skin crawl.
Oh, and they call it shoot a bunny, and that makes me fucking annoyed. It's just like all of it. So
Wait, did you ever enjoy it though?
no.
Well, see,
It was
that-
always weird to me.
I do with the
they-
dudes in my
they-
family,
yeah.
not the girls.
All the whole family.
All my sisters, they all do. They think it's so funny.
Yeah, the whole family enjoys it.
I mean, farts rules.
Yeah.
No, I know. Like, and here's
Comedy
the-
doesn't get any higher than a
I
good fart.
now am like, whatever. I get it. It's funny, but like, it is so funny. It's like a visceral thing for me.
Everybody's
like,
got their thing.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
also so like if we're in public and Ansley farts, like I usually I'll like own it for her.
Take the bullet for it.
Yeah, I always do it, but like
That's
one
my fart.
Dude, one time we were in
That's your love language,
yeah,
My lady.
my lady. I farted. Trust
Lay
me.
your jacket down and let
Yeah.
her stand on it while she farts.
we were in Lowe's one time.
I won't give you gifts, but I will claim that fart.
Yeah, 365
Give her a gift
days a year.
certificate. Give her a fresh gift certificate every year at Christmas.
You can blame a fart on me
Another year of
anytime,
farts,
any
baby.
place.
Yeah, so we're in the aisle at Lowe's, and she ripped the silent one that was like. So a funny thing that she does if she does a silent fart that's like really bad, she'll like look at me with puppy dog eyes. It's like it's funny in public,
yeah.
but like we were really far away
From each other.
from each other at the point. And as she hit me with the puppy dog eyes, like some people start coming down the aisle, like close to her.
She starts sprinting.
So I had to like run down there, and then, like it hit. Dude, I hit it I think at the same time they hit it.
I want to see this animated. Like there's like this wave.
And you're trying to
It's
keep like
you're
a
trying to
poker
keep
face
it-
on.
You're
like,
trying to catch up
"That's
with the
mine."
fart. It's
Yeah.
mine before they come.
And it was like,
Why are you tearing up for your own
and
fart?
that's what happened. Like I hit it, and it was like, oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
I think I shit.
Yeah.
You just got dropped to the floor.
I couldn't believe that came out of my little snow bunny.
My beautiful white queen.
No, I could believe it. She has terrible farts, but it's but yeah, that was like, but yeah, I mean, it's we just keep it fun.
Yeah.
We're very like our life revolves around our interests and nothing else.
That's awesome.
Like we keep a very tight circle of people. It's like people that we can trust, people that
good.
can trust us.
Fuck yeah.
And
Nobody's
it's,
gonna talk shit on you at open mics.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, people will, but I'm very talk shittable. You know what I mean? Because it's like
Do you drink or smoke or anything like that?
I smoke. I don't drink.
You don't drink
Good.
all.
I mean, it's not good for me.
But like,
Good.
so is it because it's not good for? It's not like you just don't like it. You actually are like, nah, I can't do that.
Oh no, I don't like it either.
Oh, okay.
I don't like it either. But it's like it's also like I get very flirty when I drink.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, heard that.
Well, no, because the reason I was saying that is like, you seem very disciplined in just like the polar opposite way of me. Like, are you pretty tape A? No, I mean it's fascinating. Like
you gotta
honestly,
be.
I want to like.
I
fucking-
thought my first assumption was you. I thought you were a military kid. I thought one of your parents were in
Yeah,
the military.
it's-
That's how you come off to me for some reason.
It's so-
not in a bad way. I'm like,
yeah, it is.
something's-
No, dude, I grew
Yeah.
up in a fighting family. It's
Yeah.
really difficult to explain this to
No, I hear
people
you.
because I don't think it's very common. Like my mom was literally fighting people in the
Fighting
streets for
people.
money.
Oh hell yeah.
Like she paid for her
wild.
school clothes some
fight money?
years with fight money.
Oh yeah, that's wild.
So everything revolved so when my mom would pass us in the house, she would like punch us in the stomach to make sure we were
Yeah,
ready.
keep them tight.
Like we had to stay tight at all
Yeah.
times. I worked on footwork. It's
hell
like
yeah.
I was a very disciplined kid.
Yeah.
Because it was like this was our life.
yeah.
Our life revolved around fighting and being ready for a fight at any moment.
Yeah.
So that shit is real. I mean,
No,
like when you're like a fight is like one of the scary. It's a scary endeavor.
yeah.
Right. And a lot of people are like, it's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't care
Shit's
who you are.
petrifying.
It
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
sucks.
I
It
kickboxed
does.
for fucking.
Yeah,
My
and it's-
stepdad was crazy. He used to bring me to fight gyms when I was a kid. He was like a roided up, like a nationally level like kickboxer, and every weekend was just Steven Seagal movies, and then I
Yeah.
would go in the basement and hold a kickboxing bladder for him when I was like
Yeah.
8, from like 6 till like forever, my whole life.
So
I get it.
my first advantage
Mm-hmm.
that I learned that I had in a fight was staying mentally focused and tough.
Oh yeah, if you just go crazy.
So that just became, I just expanded on that. It was like,
Gotcha.
I'm good at this.
Yeah.
So like that's why I got good grades at school because it's like I can do something.
If you can focus
Dude, you give me something to do 1,000 times over and over again.
I'm gonna get
love
get
it.
good at it. Yeah.
Dude, I love monotonous little tasks. I love puzzles. I love anything
I love
with
a puzzle.
patterns.
Puzzles and like,
Yeah.
do you color in the what are they called? You know what I'm talking about? The things you can color. The coloring books with the ones that have like the pattern that takes like 9 hours.
Yeah.
It's like I can't conconcentrate on shit.
Yeah,
I can do that.
I'm actually a pretty talented artist.
Oh,
as
yeah?
well.
Hell yeah.
So it's like, but again, like and I just would self teach anything,
Yeah.
and because I knew how, like, once you learn how to do something, you learn how to do anything.
You learned how to
right.
learn.
Who's that?
So
Musashi?
I got really
Yeah.
Book of Five
Yeah.
Rings, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got really obsessed with like the fact that I know how to learn to do things at a really early age.
Yeah.
So like what comes off as discipline is just like this has just been my habit my whole entire life.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah,
Definitely a man
like-
of habit.
Because it
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
Well, the
but
reason
that's
is
like
like.
military. Yeah. That's,
Yeah. It feels
method of
very
thinking.
like. So there are some people that you meet where you're like, I'm like, oh, there's no way I could poke this bear and it would ever be fun or crazy. Like this is, whereas like, you are somebody who like, oh no, I trained myself to be like this, but don't get me wrong. If I get off this way, I could go
Don't get wild.
to an extreme.
Dude, I wish that didn't come off, but like I will fight anybody, but
Hey.
like I don't want anybody to think that.
No,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
hear
I
you.
don't want any interaction. But there are two things
to
that
come off like you're trying to alpha somebody. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's a gross feeling too.
It is.
Unless it's warranted.
it is.
And
and so again, so when you are learning how to do things from a con artist, so this is a very important thing, and this is something that people don't admit, and why you want to punch people in the face all the fucking time, right? We're humans. We can all pick up ulterior motive from each other.
Yeah.
We all feel it, but we just like explain
Ignore
it
it.
away and do little
Rationalize.
things like that, right? So all the things that you don't think you're sending off, you're also sending off, and people are dealing with that however they're dealing
They're
with that.
processing that in their own way.
Right.
Yeah.
So even though you say like, oh, it's like I don't relate to the fact that you don't feel guilt. You felt that from me before. You know what I mean? Like being around me.
Like you got that sense off of him.
Yeah, you've gotten that vibe. And whether you knew how to explain it or not,
Gotcha.
right? And a
That's
lot of
true. Yeah, it's probably.
so a lot of times people just don't know how to explain those things about you. And they
It's either an unfamiliar feeling.
and then they get to make whatever association
Yeah.
they want in their mind. So when you're around somebody that doesn't feel guilt, what it tends to come off as is, oh, he doesn't actually give a fuck about me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what people think. And it's like, it's like a little hurtful because it's like,
I'm not a bad guy.
it's not even that I'm not a bad guy, but I fucking love everyone. Like when somebody is talking to me, you have my 100% attention.
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
paying
so this is
attention.
what I wanted to say. I feel like the fact that you said military is so funny because I'm like, no, I always, same thing I felt when I first met Ryan. I always assumed that you like, the energy I always had with you was like, if you're in the green room, I feel like I'm always talking to you. We're always like talking about something and it's never small talk. It's always next level thing like that most people don't want to do, which happens a lot with comics because we all talk about so much stuff. So maybe something I said on stage or whatever. I always just assume I think it's funny to me that I'm like learning this about you because I always thought of you as like, the guilt thing might be it, but I always was like, oh, it shocked me when I found out that like there were people in the scene who were like, that guy's
when somebody messaged
that
me, I was
guy's
like,
crazy or whatever.
I was like, I didn't know you, but I'm like, I've had a handful of interactions.
Well, the other thing
None
is,
of them were
I
weird.
thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, off the bat, I'm like, he must get along with his mom or sister, like because you never talked at me. There's so many guys that I'm in a room with that I can just see they've never talked to an authentic girl.
There's no women in their life.
There's no woman in their life that like ever fucking made them feel a
It's a
little
lack of
bit
respect, kind of.
right, which is
not
funny to me.
fearful of a woman in any way.
But which is funny to me, if going back to what we said originally, so you had this tough ass mom, but you still think if a woman called you a pussy, that would be the worst thing that happened? Doesn't your mom call you a pussy all the time by punching you in the
pussy,
gut?
faggot, like my mom, dude, my mom. So no, like it is like I'm definitely like if Ansley just called me a pussy one day. So really,
Farts on you.
Ansley basically calling me a pussy is what really like made me like I need to get my shit together. You know, like she didn't even call me a pussy.
Made you
She
reevaluate?
actually hit me with what Peggy got. She was like, you need to stop feeling sorry for yourself.
That hurts even worse.
Dude, it was like it was at a point where like I pulled my abdominal muscles.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't run track anymore. I was having problems with my coach, and a lot of it was me too because I didn't like the way he was talking down to me. And I just don't like. For me, it's like if a man's talking down to me, like I had to fight men
We
over
got
my
a problem.
mom.
I have the
So it's
same
like I don't let
trigger
adult
with-
men talk to me like this.
Yeah.
Not the only
know?
thing that makes me angry at a
Yeah,
pussy is boy. If
Yeah.
a man calls me a boy, I
He's-
fucking lose my
He's
shit.
trying to be a mentor coach type, and I'm like. Dude, everything he said mentor-wise was like fighting words to me. It was
fuck
just
you.
like, dude, I can't.
It's not.
I can't let my mom know you're talking to me like this. You know?
It gets back to my naked mom. I'm like, fuck.
You know, so it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah.
And it was like I was having a difficult time in school, and I was like about to drop. I was about to drop out of college.
Yeah.
And like I had already got kicked out, came back, and now I was about to drop out.
Damn. Yeah.
And Angela, she was like, I don't care what you do, as long as you just stop feeling sorry for yourself. She said it like that, and it was just like. All right, I need to deal with this.
I'm like a fucking best friend.
I promise when you see me, I'll be a different man. Yeah, but that was because that was something that I didn't think that I was like. Because me, it's like I'm a tough guy. Like I'm a great athlete. Like I don't feel sorry for myself. Like so, since I didn't see myself as a person that could happen to,
It's like a sobering.
it wasn't. And that dude, that changed the way. Like I would never again think that I am above being anything.
That's
ever
awesome,
again.
man.
You know,
That's
it's
awesome.
like because that's another thing. So when people are like, you know, when they say that I am something, I really fucking digest that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like I'm
It's
not gonna
thinking about it for
arrogantly be like
days.
I'm not fucking mean to women. Because like I know that I don't have to filter how I talk to my mom.
See, that's what I think. See,
Yeah.
this
I'm the
is what I
same way,
mean by
yeah.
like why personally was like felt disrespected about like when girls would say stuff like that, where I literally am like, have you talked to him? Have you not even you, but like anybody, like anytime somebody's talking about like something like that, and I'm like,
you had a conversation with that guy ever? Like, what
are you sure you are just upset because he's actually treating you like a fucking comic and not like the only girl that's in the room? Which is why I feel I've always felt like respect from you, and with most people that I surround myself with, it's like I want like. Be authentic, like fucking.
One way or another,
we can like fight. We could go back and forth on a bunch of different issues. I don't care as long as there's a mutual respect. And so when people are like, "Oh, you should," they should have more of this or that, and I'm like, dude, you fucking got to get that on your own. You got to bring the respect to a conversation. You have to be worth.
Well, that's actually,
I don't know.
We
like
talk about because I was raised by my mom, and I'm like, girls will be like, "You're disrespectful." I'm like, "No, I treat you like I treat anybody. You're acting like I should be treating you like I'm above. Like, no, I'm treating you equally, and you're mad because this situation ended up the way you treated yourself, and now it's here.
Yeah,
and you feel like I fucking got over on you, but we're equal. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
For a lot of women, like nothing shows how much they don't want to be treated like everybody else than treating them like everybody else.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you do it, it is hostile to them.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you know, and that's what I am. You know, it's like I'm going to talk to you the way that I'm going to talk to, you know, the same thing where it's like it's the people can't handle it. I remember one time somebody went up and I'm not going to say her name, but she went up and she did a joke on stage about masturbation, and then I went up on stage after her and I used the premise of that joke to do like a riff, and it crushed.
Yeah.
And she saw that
she did comedy.
She saw that as disrespectful.
That's fucking insane.
You know, where it was like, and then so for the longest, because that used to be my thing. Like I would go up on stage, and the last thing
piggyback on something,
I would like.
That's like a comedic exercise. You're working on a skill. Like
it gets me in my authentic performance because like again, like when I'm on stage, like I need to be present. I need to feel like I'm present. If I feel like I'm not present, I'm bombing.
Right.
Like 100%.
Get all robotic.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
For me, I'm off the cuff. I'm adaptable. I'm like, you know, I come from chaos, but I'm very controlled, and I need all of that in one.
Controlled chaos.
The first thing I have to do is put myself under the gun. So I know what I'm going to say something about, but I never know what I'm going to say until I get on stage and I say it. And I need that. Like that fucking puts me right where I need to be.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that's funny. Did she think it was disrespectful because you piggybacked off of it, or was it because okay, so you know how you were saying like when somebody says like, "Oh, you are this person," I digest it. I've had that where like somebody riffed on a bit, and afterwards I'd be like, wait, why would he do that? Like that wasn't my intention. And then I would talk to the comic, and then they were like, yeah, this is what your joke actually was. So it's like, I'm like, so I wonder, was she annoyed because maybe
it took a better angle?
It took a better angle, or even like, it's like, because that is so bizarre to me that you would actually be pissed off that a comic was like, I fucking love it when another, like if I was up and then like, especially Helium, always with that Tuesday, like 5 comics later, someone brings up something that happened when I was on stage. I'm like, cool. Comics were listening to me.
Well, and that's what it does too. It's almost like, so, you know, I have good sets a decent amount of times, right? And sometimes I'll be on a showcase and the comedian before me wouldn't even necessarily do that well. But when people are talking to me after the show, they'll bring up me and the comedian before me because I brought a piece of that comedian on stage with me. So like they're, you know, he's in the mind or she's in the mind as well. So it's almost, you know, it
got
does
gears turning.
It might at times imprint them more than it does me.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, the fact that somebody would be upset about that, I mean, to me, it just showed that they weren't. I wish I would have taken it as, oh, they're just not about
confident
comedy.
You
know, like I'm like, dude, everything. So and being a comedian, like my whole life revolves around comedy. Like I'm disciplined and dedicated to that. You know, so everybody's not the same. Everybody's not doing everything to the same level. And I wish, but back then I was like, fuck, I guess I can't do this anymore because everybody's so sick. Like I was
Because you're also like, I don't want to make people feel bad I'm on a fucking show with. Like, why would I?
Fluidity, even narrative structure. Like, you're picking up right where that person is leaving off, and the ideas continue to flow, and you move
and
on
also,
to your
like
thing.
you said, it's an exercise. Like, that's the other thing is, like, I've watched someone try to riff off something, and it doesn't work. And I'm like, well,
They
tried it. Whatever.
Like, swing.
and I'm like, especially when I first started doing more what I do now, where, like, I really want to be in the room and all that stuff. You know how many times I bombed because the riffs didn't make sense? Like, it is a skill that you eventually learn how to say certain things, or how you say it comes off in a different. So it's like, it's crazy to me. Like, even if you went up and you riffed and you fucking bombed, it's like, who gives a shit? Like, he's trying it or whatever. It's like, so it's just, it's funny that you said, because like, I really do above everything. I'm a comedian. Like, I think it's Chris Rock who says, he's like, I'm not black. I'm a comedian first, and that's it's like, I'm like, I know I am a girl, but when I'm standing in a room with all you guys and I'm a comic, that's it. And that was the thing that one guy said to me. He's like, you'll never be one of the boys. You have to get that through your head. And I was like, I don't want to be one of the boys.
What are you talking
I want to
about?
be Peggy, who hangs out with you guys. Like, I want you to not fucking think of it like that. Just like, I don't think you're a real man, but I'm not going to say that to your face. No, I'm just kidding.
No, people. I think she looked at it. I honestly think again. So when people pick up that, like, the fact that I don't feel guilt, like, I don't care if I really don't care if you feel bad around me. We'll deal with that later.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna have this fun now, and if that's something you need to deal,
later.
we can deal with that. you know? So I don't. I feel like people feel that I condescend to them, and I think she thought that I was trying to show her what funny is.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I mean. Like, she almost took offense to it because you riffed on it and maybe made the joke better or whatever.
And then probably not about. And then usually, if you say that to someone afterwards, they'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." You're like, "No, what do you mean?"
Dude, here's
Like, most people aren't going to stand up. Most people are just gonna be like, "All right, whatever, like, fuck it."
So the most hurtful thing about these, like, talentless comedians that have an issue with me, is that I don't look at them as comedians that suck. I look at them as comedians that haven't quite figured it out yet, and at any moment, any comedian, it could just click for them.
100%.
So I don't even write them off.
Yeah.
And they
it's a waste of time.
hate me because of what they think I think about them.
right.
Yeah.
You know,
That's most people's fights. They're all in your head
it's
anyway.
like, dude, I fucking love you. I love you.
Yeah,
And
hell
that's why
yeah.
they don't talk to me, because, like, I think you can get a sense that, like, I'm a good guy. And if they ever found out that I'm a good guy, they're not willing to reconcile.
They're not willing to accept that they had the wrong opinion. Or
and then
whatever.
deal with all that.
Right, and
preconceived
that
shit
it's like,
they had.
people aren't good and bad. There's like so much fucking in the middle. Like, it's not even.
Also, the amount of times you run into somebody and they're like, "That guy's a dick." I'm like, "Well, you don't know what the fuck his day was like."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
sure.
He could have been a bad day. Whatever.
And I say it
dude.
all the time, and it's like everyone sucks. Like, when someone's like, "Are they a good comic?" I'm like, they have like a couple years in. I'm like, we all sucked until you don't suck in it, and then you get good and you still fucking suck. So it's like, it's funny to me.
Everybody
Like,
sucks.
in the beginning of open mics, because I see it now, because I'm like still going to open mics and I'm seeing these people who are a year in, 2 years in, and they're still doing that thing of like, well, that person's not good and that, and I like always have to just be like, we all fucking suck.
Yeah.
Like, you suck too. Like, literally,
suck
this
worse.
is like, we all suck until we don't suck. Like,
Yeah.
all you have is, in the beginning, is like your opinions. But like, you don't
It's my favorite.
necessarily.
Every special that comes out, everybody on Facebook critiquing specials. I'm like, oh, fuck. I saw you cry at a bar show. Shut the fuck up. It's insane.
Dude, and I have to work really hard to not see these people that tried to ruin my life that way.
Yeah,
like, these
'cause that-
people,
that's a different
they
level
fucking
of.
email the comedy clubs and shit on
That's
me.
fucking crazy.
So they're literally
I
trying
mean, they
to
like
take,
literally witch hunt.
yeah, they're trying to take comedy away from me. Something that they claim to love. They know how hard it is. They're trying to take it away from me, but I still have to work very hard to see the fact that they haven't figured it out yet as just like a time coming, because I want to like the new comedians that aren't good yet. And if I'm like, well, if you suck, then you suck, then what am I going to think about
this dude,
these
that's
people?
6
So,
months
like,
in.
Who are just trying.
yeah, so I mean, like, and they're fucking, and they don't even.
Most of those
appreciate it.
people all just straight hate the fact that there's a competitive aspect to comedy. So if they're not doing well, they want to blame whatever. You know what I mean? They're gonna make up some shit. I'm like, dude, why don't you just fucking
Instead of
figure
just
it
being
out?
like, I need to get better.
Yeah, why don't you
Just
just fucking
work
do more
harder.
shit?
A lot of these people don't know how to get better at things. They don't
5
know.
rings comes right back.
You're
right. Comes right back.
What is it?
around.
You know the way in one way, you know the way in all things. I forget how the saying goes. Something like that, though.
Yeah, dude. If you're Sidney, you got it. I think that's the
Yeah, but thanks for coming on, bro. This
Dude,
was
this
fun.
was
as hell.
so fun. You gotta
Yeah.
come back again.
Yeah, I love
Check
this.
out his podcast, Two Jack Bros. What else? You got anything else?
Nah, I mean that's really everything. For
Hell
us
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Hell
don't
yeah.
care
Well, thanks
about
for coming
anything
on,
else.
bro.
Thank
You're the
you.
best.
Babe,
and
love
also,
you.
everybody out there, stop fucking beefing with us, okay? Just let Sidney and me be me and
Move the
Sidney,
beef to
okay?
me.
Yeah, fucking. And that's the best. Never ever happens when Ryan's around. That's really funny. Never
every
happens.
time I go home, it's like something happened. I'm like, what the fuck?
You're like, this is why you got to leave when I leave. And I'm like, I
miss it.
know.
But
All right, well,
thanks
I
for
love
coming
you
on
guys.
again, bro.
Thank you so
have a
much.
good one. Peace.
Goodbye.
This has been a Droptent Media production.